We begin with breaking news out of North Idaho.
Moscow police are investigating a homicide near campus.
4 University of Idaho students have been killed near campus.
4 students who were found dead in a home near the campus earlier today.
Breaking news about a murder mystery involving those 4 Idaho college students.
We'll continue to update this story as we learn more.
Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. 1 year ago today, the lives of 4 young University of Idaho students were taken.
Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were murdered in a house just off campus in Moscow. Tonight, Idahoans from Boise to North Idaho gathered to honor and remember the lives of those 4 friends. Vigils were being held in Moscow and at the U of I campus in Boise.
In Moscow, hundreds of people gathered on the University of Idaho administration lawn for a student-led vigil to honor the lives of those 4 students.
All 4 victims were members of Greek life at the university, and representatives from the girls' sororities and Ethan's fraternity each spoke at tonight's vigil.
There were many kind words that were used to describe Maddie, the most common being kind, loving, genuine, driven, stunning, outgoing. This list can go on forever, but most of all, bright. Maddie was a bright person. She had a bright smile. She had a bright future. Maddie was bright. She was bright in every way that a person could be. Kaylee Gonzalez had a contagious laugh. I mean, you could hear it in the other room. It was so unapologetically her. I miss this laugh every day. She laughed often, at herself and with others. Kaylee was beautiful inside and out. A lot of people say you don't know what you have until it's gone. However, Xana Kernodle does not fit into that category. Pi Beta Phi was blessed to have Xana's presence, blessed to have known her, and to call her a sister. She made an impact on our organization that will never be forgotten. She meant so much to everyone around her.
And that's just who E was. The life of the party. Always optimistic, always looking for excitement. The type of person to pick you up when you're down, to keep you at a high when you're up. There's not many people I've met in my life that I can wholeheartedly say exemplify the true meaning of what it means to be happy.
There was a moment of silence after each speaker to remember their friends.
The Associated Students of the University of Idaho president says it was important for students to lead this vigil because it allows them to move forward together. He says Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee will continue to have their stories told and their legacies honored.
And back here at home, several dozen people honored the victims and supported their Vandal family up in Moscow and, frankly, around the world.
Abby Davis is live outside the U of I College of Law building in downtown Boise, where that vigil was held this evening. Abby?
Yeah, it happened a couple hours ago at 7 p.m. About 40 people were there, shining 4 students and a moment of silence to remember.
Please bow your head in silence as we honor those that were lost.
Far from Moscow, but still part of the Vandal family.
Vandals are only going to be stronger through this struggle, and I thank you for coming out.
Dozens of University of Idaho Boise students and alumni gathered Monday night to honor the lives of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez.
I remember when the news broke about it, and it was really hard to hear. I was thinking of all my friends up in Moscow, hoping that they were okay, praying for their safety, praying for the 4 students' families. I can't even imagine what they went through.
I think most people like us, we think about it all the time. So to come out and commemorate this on the 1-year anniversary just felt like something we really wanted to do.
Law student Julia Chukovich says they started organizing the vigil last week.
We had heard of the student-led event being held in Moscow in remembrance of the 4 students, and we wanted to, in solidarity with our Moscow classmates, have a student-led event down here concurrently. So we held it at the same time as theirs.
For Julie Addinger, seeing everyone come together meant a lot.
Being a Vandal goes beyond just your 4 years in college, and the years after that, it's a lifetime thing, and we're always here for each other, so to see that tonight was really important.
Although far from Moscow, the events of November 13th, 2022 still hit too close to home.
Like any tragedy where there's this much grief, you just have to deal with it head on, and the best way to do that is just to deal with it, face it, and share the grief with each other.
The Vandal family sharing in their grief and now in their healing.
Hug someone here that you care about.
It's hard to believe that it's been a whole year, but I just really hope moving forward that their families can find peace and get the justice that they deserve.
People I talked to tonight, they hope that this becomes a yearly tradition for the U of I Boise campus, gathering every single year to honor the 4 students that were murdered last year. And, you know, being here tonight at this vigil, it was hard not to think about the vigils that happened last year. Morgan and Brian, I know that you two were there in Moscow. I was here at the one in Boise, and those were, that was a night, frankly, that has stuck with me and will stay with me, and I'm sure you two as well. And a couple of the people tonight here as well, they were at those last year as well.
Yeah, powerful, Abby, and you're right. You remember it so vividly, and it feels like a lifetime ago, but also just a month ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that that was last year.
I'm not sure there's a more tight-knit group of students and alumni as there is with the University of Idaho.
Absolutely.
Vandal strong for sure. I mean, this is what they live, and it's just for generations.
Yes, and after this, for sure. All right, Abby Davis reporting live for us in Boise. Abby, thank you. Boise State University